Hello everyone, this is Terry Schultz and I'm coming to you from Lawrence, Kansas. It's been a while since I've been on here. I've had quite the couple of years. Actually, I think it's been about 3.5 years since I've been making videos and posting them and all of that. It's been quite the hectic ride. Just to catch you up a little bit on what's been happening with me. I had COVID in September of 2021 and spent 10 days in the hospital, and then had a pulmonary embolism and went back in the hospital, and that was an ordeal to recover from. That took about a year. And then I ended up getting a job in Ohio at Ohio State, and I moved there in February of 2023, and then my dad was diagnosed with leukemia in March of 2023, and so I spent a lot of time coming back and forth to my parents' house in Wichita, Kansas to take care of my dad and help mom and things like that. And he passed away in November of 2023, so mom came to Ohio for a while. My sister's also there. Eventually decided it wasn't for her. We had packed up their house, had an auction, sold their house, thinking she was going to be in Ohio. She decided she wanted to be back in Kansas, and at about the same time a job at University of Kansas opened up for me, so I am also in Kansas. That's how I ended up in Lawrence. My mom is in Derby, the Wichita area, so it's been a lot of moving the last 2 years between mom and I, but we have bought a house in Lawrence now, and I'm settled here. I have a lovely craft room here, and been just trying to get organized and ready to go. My husband put together this lovely recording system for me, so this is actually the first actual video I'm making on this system. So if it's not perfect, please forgive me. I'm still learning how to do this, but he gave me very thorough and good instructions, so I'm very appreciative of that. I just wanted to show you a quick card tonight, so that I can reintroduce myself to you, show you a quick card with an easy, based on an easy card sketch, and just see if I could get started again. So I'm going to show you, let me see if this will work. Here, there we go. Here is the card sketch that I'm basing this card off of, and this is, as you can see, a freshly made sketches sketch. I find these on Instagram. Usually they'll have a new one every week, I think, and then people can post cards based on that sketch. I like to use sketches to get inspiration. A lot of times I will scroll Instagram or Facebook just to find what other people are making, and or find a sketch like this to go off of to make my card. So that's the sketch I'm going off of, and I will I actually haven't put the card together yet. I cut out all the pieces. I made a version of this card before, different stamp set, different colors, different everything. It was my husband's birthday card, and it turned out really cute. But so I cut out all the pieces for this one, so we're just going to put it together kind of on the fly, so that'll be fun. So let me grab my pieces here and get that camera to show you what we've got going on. And I'll show you the stamp set I'm working from and the dies that I'm working from, and we'll put this together. So I'm gonna put me in the, yeah, you can see me in the corner, so that's fun. So I have a card base. Nope, you're looking at the wrong thing. There you go. Told you I'm learning. Thank you for the patience. All right, I have a card base of, this is Summer Splash, which is an in color from last year. So it's one of the in colors that will retire a year from now. And this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's just folded in half and burnished. So you've got a nice flat card base. And then I cut a piece of Summer Splash to 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, so just slightly smaller than that card base front, and I embossed that with, oh, do I have it? Yeah, I have it here. I embossed that with the Forever Plaid embossing folder, which is one of the big ones, and it's a 3D folder, and I love it. It's got this nice plaid, if you can see, plaid looking pattern on it. So I've got that for the card base. And then for the side pieces, I have this piece of DSP, and this is from the Florals in Bloom DSP, which goes along with the Impressions of Bloom, coordinates with the Impressions of Bloom stamp set, and there's a suite. There are embellishments. I think these embellishments were part of the suite as well. The 25 to 27 in color pearls. They might not be, I have to look, part of the suite, but there's a suite that includes this DSP, and if I could find my catalog, I'd look it up, but I know it's here, but I can't find it. So, okay. But this is 4 7/8 by 2, this piece right here. And then this little piece right here is 4 7/8 by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go ahead and glue those together. I think it's a little silly that when I have just like cardstock that I've cut out and ready for a project, that I go ahead and also turn it over before I put the glue on it, which is kind of silly when you think about it, because it's exactly the same on both sides, so you could put glue on either side and it wouldn't matter. But so I just glued that right along the right edge of this piece of Designer Series paper. And then that's going to go, let me pull this up here so you can see the whole thing, on the card base right about there. And then I have a piece, it's the same Designer Series paper, it's just the back of it, which is Strawberry Slush. And this is 5 1/8 by 3/4 of an inch. So it's just slightly longer than this other piece, and it's just going to tuck in right here behind these two pieces. Now I'm not going to put those on just yet. This is for the inside of the card. So I've got a mat that is cloud cover, and it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then this piece of white cardstock is going to go mat right on that, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And that'll go on the inside of the card, but we're going to stamp on that a little bit. And then for the circle element on this card, I decided to use these this oval shape, and these are the dies that go along with this stamp set, the Impressions of Bloom stamp set, and then the dies, Impressions of Bloom dies that go along with it, and that's these dies right here. And so we're going to use some of these flowers that I've already cut out, and then the really cool thing about these two ovals is that they cut a smaller outside oval and then the inside oval. So I thought I cut it in two pieces so that I could maybe make that a little bit of a frame around around this. So I thought I'd put that on there like this. Maybe I want a green, a summer splash frame, but I haven't cut that out. I could also use the reverse of what I did there, the orange with the cloud cover frame, like that. I kind of like the cloud cover as the, like that better. And then I'll just clip this once I get this glued down. I'm going to clip this off so it'll just be stuck on the end. So you can position this wherever you want to. And then for the sentiment, which I haven't mounted yet, I thought I would use this thanks, and then this so very much, and probably I appreciate you for the inside. So I'm going to get those out of here, and you can see these are photopolymer stamps, and I've just got them attached on the pictures that are inside of the case that they come in. So I'm going to get this thanks, and I'm going to mount that right here. Forgot to turn on my other light, so maybe I'll turn that on and see what we get. These are much easier to stamp straight than the rubber stamps because you can see through them, but I like to just put them down on the grid, and maybe so that I can pick them up straight once they quit sticking to my fingers. So I've got those mounted. I'm going to turn on this light. You should see the mess I've got in here. See if that helps. That gives me a little bit of a glare, but maybe it helps. We'll see. I can see better. I don't know if you can see better. So that right there. So I thought I'd stamp that right on here, and I think I'm going to stamp that in Summer Sky ink. So I'm going to go about right there. So I have a bunch of colors over here with me because I wasn't sure what I wanted to be using. Summer Sky is one of our new in colors this year from Stampin' Up. It's a really nice dark blue, I think, to me. Let me get my... When you have photopolymer stamps, it always helps to have a little bit of a cushion under them, so I use this Stampin' Pierce mat and just put it under what I'm stamping. Now I'm trying to see if I've got that straight. It looks somewhat straight, so I'm going to just stamp that right there, and that looks great. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this so very much in the same color. You could stamp it in a different color if you wanted to be fancy. I'm going to get up and get my head over this so I can see if I can get this straight. I hope that's not too far to the right. I think it might be. I'm going to close this up because I will stick my arm in it. I know that from experience. Yeah, that might be. That's why there's two sides. I think it's okay. I'm going to stamp this again on the other side and do it a little bit more in the middle or to the left. Maybe I should start with my so very much. Let's try that. So I've got some room to cut that off. So I'm just going to put that down right there. And that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to stamp the thanks right here above that, a little bit to the left. And I'm trying to make sure it's straight. I hope it is. This chair I'm in, I do not like because it sinks. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I may sink at some point. Alright, so that looks pretty good. And what I wanted to do, yeah, I like that. So what I want to do is I cut out a bunch of these flowers from the dies, and I was just going to kind of place those. There's all kinds of, you can get little ones, these medium-sized ones, which I like, and then there's leaves. So I'm just bringing these in here and just trying to figure out what I want to do here. Maybe I'll put this orange one down here, and this yellow one. This is Darling Duckling. This is another one of our new in colors. And then Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger. These are new in colors this year, so they'll last until 2027. And then I cut out several leaves. What I really like about these dies, if you look, you can cut out the outside and then you can put this middle part in it. It's separate or not, and this middle part is going to give it some texture, so you can see the lines that that middle part puts on there, which is really cool. And then you've got leaves of different kinds, some smaller flowers, and these are, you know, bigger flowers of different sizes. So then I just kind of will lay these on here. Some of these I'll pop up. I may, those cut out by one, so I may put a little leaf by them, trying to get them around the words and not drown out the words. But so you can see how you can just play with that and build that how you want to. So I'm going to put down some of these, and I want to make sure I put down my frame on here before I put these down as well. So first, I have this glued together. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece down, the embossed piece, which just gives a nice, I like an embossed or something happening on the bigger background. It makes me nervous to just see a straight blank piece of cardstock like this with a few things on it. I don't know why. With white I can do a little bit less, but I just like to have something, some background on there. I like a simple card, but I also like multi-layer cards. So then I'm going to put this where I think I'll have it, and then so I know where this is going to go, I think I'll do this piece next, because that'll be easiest. So let me get some glue on it. And do y'all have fun plans this summer? Any vacation plans, anything going on? It's been a busy month of May for me. I've had, my kids have come at separate times. My mom came with a friend of hers from where they live in the Wichita area. She came for a weekend, and then I went to her place for Mother's Day weekend, and Then my son was here, so, and then my sister stopped through on her way to Mom's a week ago, and then came back through Saturday night on our way back to Ohio, and we went to a baseball game. We have a cousin who also lives here in Lawrence, so that's been fun for me to spend more time with her, going to KU games. Oh, you know what? I didn't want to glue that down yet, but that's okay. It'll work because I want to cut this off. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down so I can cut it off. And I'm just going to put glue on this side of it so that I've got room to cut it off. And I'm gonna put that, you could put it right in the middle, you could put it up or above or below center, whatever you like for the card that you're building. So that's crooked. Let me fix that. I think I can get that straight on there. Does that look straight? Yeah, I think that looks straight. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off right on this edge. Like that. There we go. Then I'm going to put this frame around it, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue just on the edges of this frame, just by tapping a little bit. I like to use liquid glue. It's probably my first glue of choice. I do like the seal that we've got with Stampin' Up. It's a nice tape runner kind of glue, adhesive. But most of the time I would say that I use the liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of, you've got a little bit of time where you can kind of adjust things with the liquid glue, whereas other adhesives kind of might stick right down right away and you need to make sure you're in the right place. So that's there we go. Now I don't have any glue right here, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it right here so I can get that stuck down where I want it. It's a little bit, probably a little bit off because I turned that middle part over, but it'll be fine. So that's what we've got. So I'm just going to snip this off right at the edges too. So that looks really cute. Now I'm going to place these flowers. I kind of want the big one put that one over there. Put this one down here and this one closer to here so that I've got some separation between the orange and the yellow. And then these, and then I can just kind of put some leaves in so they don't interfere with the words too much. Like that maybe. I like this and these, and then I could use my take your pick tool, which is right over there, to pick these up if I wanted to place some of these little yellow, you know, smaller yellow flowers around on there. So that looks real cute. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I have big and small ones, and start to build this. I won't put every one of these flowers on dimensionals, but I will put some of them. I think I want to put this one on a big dimensional here in the middle. So it's just a matter of building it kind of how you like it. And then I think I'll put a small dimensional on this one. So my husband and I are celebrating a kind of milestone anniversary this summer. So we were just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. We'd like to take some kind of a trip. We still have our house in Texas, and so my husband has still he's been there most of this spring since I moved into this house. He and his son came and helped me move into this house in January, and it was -7 degrees the day that we moved in, which was awesome. I think I'm gonna pop this one up. And my husband really does not like cold weather at all, so he was kind of like, I will see you when it's warmer. And I really, don't like the hot weather in Texas. I've just gotten to where I just don't tolerate it as well as I used to, and so I don't really want to be in Texas in the summer. My son has been living in our house in Texas. My stepson has been going kind of back and forth between where he lives in New York and Texas, spending a bit more time in Texas this last year, and so he's been at the house there, and we're just trying to, we haven't figured out what we want to do with that house yet. So he's been there most of the spring, like I said, and I'm here, but he's gonna be here probably in a month ish, and then we will decide where we're gonna go for our anniversary. We've settled on North Carolina and the mountains there. I love the mountains, and I really didn't want to be anywhere where it was going to be hot. I'm not really a beach person. I'm more of a lake person. I like to be around water, but I like mountains and trees and things like that rather than beaches. I don't like sand too much, so I like hiking and trees, so that's what we're gonna do. Are you more of a beach person or a mountain person, lake person? Are you a water person at all, or not a water person? Would you prefer to hike? Got a little bit of glue on that, so I'm probably not going to really pop up many of these leaves. Maybe not any of them. I'll probably just tuck them in here and there. This one, so they're more stuck to the card. I think this is really cute. What do you think? I like cards with lots of elements like this. I love playing with paper, so it makes me happy to be sticking down more elements like this. But also I like a simple card, something simple to make. I like a fun fold. How do you feel about fun folds? I think they're super fun. So I'm going to take some of these in color flat pearls, and I'm going to place a few of these. I didn't go with any ribbon. I had brought in some ribbon thinking I might. This is, I got a little bead on me. Oh, please. Looks like a pink one, but it came from there. All right, sorry. This is Summer Splash ribbon. I think this is new in this catalog, so it coordinates with the Summer Splash really well, but I didn't really find a good place for ribbon. But I'm gonna go with these cloud cover, the large ones, and put them in the middle here of the bigger flowers anyway. There are dies, I like that you can cut out the middles for these as well, if you wanted to do that. Oh, that glue didn't come with that. Sometimes the glue doesn't come up with it, like now. Fighting with this. They've got little glue dots behind them, and so sometimes I like to use the scissors. You can use take your pick tool to pick these up, but that works fine too. But I like these. So that's cute. And maybe a little one here, and maybe just a medium-sized cloud cover down here. All right, so that's that, but we need to do our middle of the card, so let's do that. Let's do a little bit of stamping on the inside of our card, if I can get this to quit sticking to itself. Okay, I've done something weird here. Okay, I just tore that packaging all to pieces. It's stuck to my card, to my stamp, so don't do that. Lesson learned. Okay, so on the inside, I would like to put, I'm going to stamp on this, so let me grab my Stampin' Pierce mat again, get this up out of the way, and I'm going to use this I Appreciate You, and I'm going to get a block here. And before I put that on, I'm going to stamp this flower. Use this one. And so there's these are two-step stamps, and so you stamp, there's like the fill-in part, which is this one, it's more solid, and then there's kind of the line or the detail part that has more detail. So I think I'm gonna stamp this in Timid Tiger, and I'm going to stamp first this little detail part, and I'm gonna put that right here, like so. That looks great. That's a great color. Orange is one of my happy colors. So, and then I'm gonna stamp off this one, and gotta line it up. So, and then this is just kind of a fill-in part. And so I'm stamping it. I stamped it off once to get a layer of that color off. So I get a little bit of a lighter color filling that in. So that looks great. Now I'm going to do a smaller one, with this Darling Duckling ink, and that's this one. So I'm going to mount these real quick, and I'm going to do this more detailed one just right here beside this bigger one, and that looks great. And then I'm going to take the filler and I'm going to stamp that off once, and I'm going to figure out, I think that looks right, how that goes, and then I'm just going to stamp that down, and I think you can see that. That looks great. And so then I want to get some, I don't want those just floating out there, so there's this, looks just like a stem, so I'm going to put that on just this thin block, and I'm going to stamp that with my Summer Splash ink, and I'm going to do some leaves as well. So I'm just gonna get myself a stem on here like so, and then a little stem on this one, and I think that looks fine. And then the leaves are, you also have the opportunity, these don't necessarily need to be filled in, but there is a filler stamp for this one, but these stamp really nicely. I'm going to move that up a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and I'm going to put just a couple of leaves on these flowers, kind of overrode the, and I'm going to let these overlap a little bit like so. I think that looks pretty good. I like that for my inside there. Now I can fill in those, there's little filler stamps as well, and I think I'm just going to use the detailed one on these as well, because I think that looks fine. I don't think you need both in this case, so I'm going to use this yellow, which I used for one of the flowers, but I'm going to go with it. Just going to stamp, and I kind of missed that a little bit, but that's okay. I missed it there too. You can, it's fine. Nobody's going to care. So I think that looks fine. I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to mount this on its mat right here. So here's my glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that and mount it on the mat. Oh, I forgot to put the sentiment. Let me do that real quick. It's okay. It will be straight. And I'm going to do that in this Secret Sea, I think is, yeah, Secret Sea is the new color. It's a nice dark. And I'm just going to put I Appreciate You right above the flowers. So, like so. And that looks great. And I'm going to glue that to the inside of my card. Now, if you want to shop in my store, we have a new system at Stampin' Up! Where you earn your own rewards starting with $20 spent. So you would go to the Stampin' Up! Website, which I will demonstrate for you on another video. You would find me as your demonstrator, and shop with me, and then you can get some rewards with me, card kits and things like that. So here's the card. I think it turned out really cute. I love the flowers on there and the texture on these flowers on these dies. You could make it a lot simpler. You know, you wouldn't have to emboss a piece. You wouldn't have to put so many pieces. You could just stamp on it. But I think that looks really cute. And I thank you for watching me, for stamping along with me tonight. And I look forward to more videos with you and getting back into the groove. So thank you very much. Bye.